Thank you, Roger. So my name is Anders Christensen, and I'm the leader of the team Ocean Swarm. We are from ISCTE and Instituto de Telecomunicações here in Lisbon. Let's talk about fish. Lots of people enjoy a good plate of fish. It's rich in protein, vitamin D, it has a lot of good fatty acids, and it's tasty. But have you ever thought about what it takes to bring a fish out from the ocean and onto a plate like that? The thing is, catching fish is challenging. Fishermen can't just deploy their nets and then hope to catch something. Many of the fish that we eat, they live in schools, and fishermen, they must first find a school before they can deploy their net and hope to catch anything. Now, sonars, they have helped because they allow the fishermen to look under the sea, but they only have a limited range, about 300 meters. So often fishermen, they must go around and search for fish before they can deploy their nets. Let's take a look at a real example. Sesimbra is a village that's south of Lisbon. George, he has a boat. Captain George, he leaves at 6:20 in the afternoon to go fishing, together with a crew of 14 other fishermen. He goes to a spot where he believes that there might be fish, so he starts searching. He looks at his sonar for 4.5 hours before he finally finds some fish. Then he fishes for 3 hours, but he doesn't catch enough. So he goes back to the place that he was before because he believes that maybe there's fish now. And he searches again for 2 hours. He doesn't find anything, so he decides to go back to port. Then he returns 12 hours and 40 minutes later. And out of that long fishing trip, he has only spent 3 hours actually fishing. And he has a big boat. He spends a lot of fuel. In fact, fishing boats like George's spend on average 1,000 euros worth of fuel in such a trip. Now, on a good day, it means that 400 euros is spent on fuel and searching for fish, because on average 40% is spent on finding fish. However, on a bad day, and when you're a fisherman, there are lots of bad days, 22% of days are bad where they don't catch anything, which means that the 1,000 euros that he spent on fuel on that day is wasted. And the crew does not get paid because the crew is paid according to catch. Globally, 20 billion liters of fuel is spent on fishing, and 8 billion is spent on fish finding. Now, wouldn't it be nice if fishermen didn't have to spend so much fuel and so much time looking for fish? In other words, wouldn't it be nice if George, he knew where to go before he left port so he could go directly to the fish and catch them? In fact, with our technology, that is possible. Here's the Ocean Swarm drone. It's a small autonomous vessel. It has a sonar so it can find fish. It has a camera, and it has a radar so that it can avoid other boats and obstacles in the water. It has a GPS, so it knows where it is, and it has a radio, so it can tell us on land where the fish are. But it can also coordinate with other drones, because we're not just going to put one in the water. We are going to put a swarm of drones in the water. So here's an example. I'm going to put a swarm of drones in the water. They communicate and coordinate with each other, and they send their data into shore, into us, so we can tell George and all the other fishermen in Sesimbra where the fish are before they leave port. Drones are smart. When they find a school of fish, they track them. When a drone is tracking a school of fish, it might leave the area they were searching in. So it can communicate to other drones so they can compensate, and like that, the swarm can autonomously coordinate. Our business model is the following. We are going to sell real-time information about the location of fish to the fishermen. So we're essentially going to give them an iPad or something similar where they can see where the fish are. We're even going to give them access to sonar readings so they can decide where to go before they leave port. Our customers will be fishermen's associations and large fisheries. And our revenue model is to take a percentage of the catch, which is what the fishermen, they're comfortable with. So our value proposition is we'll help to eliminate the bad days where the fishermen do not catch anything. And on the good days, we can help them to save them fuel up to 40%. We can increase revenue by giving them access and help them find high-value fishing spots. And we can shorten the fishing trips, which is a good thing, because fishing is actually one of the most dangerous professions that you can have. So the less time they have to spend at sea, the better. This is our roadmap. We have, in fact, built 10 drones like these to test the fundamental artificial intelligence algorithms. And what you see behind me is 10 of these that we have instructed to go and autonomously search in an area, and they coordinate who goes where and how they do it. Okay? The next step on our roadmap is to build ocean swarm drones. Then we're going to set up a beta site here in Portugal. We have good contacts in Sesimbra who are very interested in our product. Then we're going to expand to Spain, to Vigo, because Vigo is one of the biggest fishing ports in the world. Then we're going to expand to Northern Europe and finally to Asia, starting with Japan. These are financials. We're going to have our first customer in 2019. And a customer is somebody who has 20 boats or more, so it's not just one boat, it's a fleet of boats. Then in 2020, we're going to move into Spain. 2021, we're going to go to Scandinavia, and then we're going to enter in Asia in 2023. So we are going to become profitable in 2019, and we're going to have a positive cumulative cash flow in 2022. Our platform, our technology has a lot of potential. Basically, any time that you have a big area where you want a lot of measuring points, a lot of observation points, you can use swarmer drones. So in the future, we'll also be looking into applications and markets in environmental monitoring and surveillance and reconnaissance. I have a great team behind me. We have several years of experience working in AI and robotics. This photo was taken out at the Blue Business Forum that was held here in Lisbon last month. And we got excellent feedback from fishermen and fishing associations on our project. So to wrap up, we're going to build swarmer drones so we can provide real-time information about the location of fish to fishermen so they can bring us this delicious fish without spending as much fuel and time as they currently do. Thank you very much for your attention.